Hillary the Hippo Goes to Preschool by Delayne Duffy and illustrated, that means the person who drew the pictures, by Durham. Dedicated to Megan, Destiny, Matthew, Shad, and Tawny, the loves of our lives. Special thanks to Patricia Rojas Natividad for helping us translate our book so more people can enjoy it. Hillary peeked out from under her blanket as her mother yelled from downstairs. Hillary, it's time to get up. You're going to be late for your very first day of school. Your clothes are on the chair and your breakfast is on the table. Hurry up. The sun began to peek through her sheer curtains. Hillary scowled at the window. She didn't want to get up. She didn't want to get dressed. She didn't want to eat breakfast, and she surely didn't want to go to school. There was a soft tap on the window. Hillary ignored it. The soft tap came again. Hillary reluctantly got out of bed, walked slowly to the window, and pulled back her curtain. There, staring back at her, was her very best friend, Destiny, the dragonfly, who lived in the small pond next to Hillary's house. Hi, Hillary. Destiny's voice came through the window as Hillary opened it. Aren't you dressed yet? It's the first day of school. Hurry up and we can walk together. Hillary looked down at her friend and shook her head. Des, I don't want to go. What if no one likes me? I won't have anyone to play with. And besides, I hear that Miss Wally is big, loud, and she has sharp teeth. I hear she has eaten other kids for not turning in their work. What if she tries to eat me? Us. Destiny landed on the windowsill and looked at her friend. Hillary, stop worrying so much. You know me. And I like you. We will play together. Destiny lowered her voice. Did Miss Wally really eat kids for not turning in their work? Really? I hadn't heard that. A look of worry crossed over Destiny's face, and she looked down at the windowsill where she still sat. Maybe she didn't want to go to school either, she thought. Hillary, came the loud, deep voice from Mama Hippo, you need to hurry. Your breakfast is getting cold. The two friends looked at each other. Hillary stood up from the window seat as Destiny flew off. Destiny's tiny voice floated through the window. Hurry, Hillary. I will wait for you by the mailbox. Hillary got dressed as quickly as she could, ate her breakfast of chocolate chip pancakes and a tall glass of milk, grabbed her backpack, which was sitting by the front door, and yelled at her mom as she ran out the door to meet her friend. Bye, Mom. I'm going to school. Mama Hippo hurried to the door. Hillary, wait. What about my kiss? Her voice trailed off as she watched her daughter disappear down the street. Mama stood there, shaking her head, with a smile on her face. Destiny landed on Hillary's nose, whose eyes crossed as she looked at her small friend. Des, what do you think school is really going to be like? Do you think the kids are going to be chained to the desks, forced to eat bugs and such? Destiny's eyes grew big as her friend continued contemplating their day. Will we have to work in the dark with only candles for light and no windows? Beads of sweat began to form on Hillary's upper lip, and her eyes widened at the thought of what events would surely happen throughout the day. Destiny shook her head. No, came the tiny reply. It will be so much fun. I hope. She looked up at her friend, rounded the corner, and in front of them loomed a large red brick building with Ridgely Elementary printed in big black letters on a sign in front of the school. As the two friends walked up to the school, they were greeted by Mr. George Gorilla, the school principal. Well, hello there, young ladies. So glad you could join us today. Let me walk you to class and introduce you to your teacher. He opened the door and let the two friends walk through. He led them down a long hallway. At the end of the hall, they turned right and then left. Beautiful and colorful pictures lined the hallways, welcoming everyone and wishing them a fantastic year. But Hillary didn't believe the pictures or what they said. With every step that Hillary took, dread and fear became stronger and stronger. Finally, Mr. George stopped in front of a door. Above the door was Miss Wally's name, and underneath it read, "Welcome to Preschool." Mr. George opened the door, but Hillary and Destiny hesitated. They could hear laughter and happy voices coming from inside the room. No screams for help, no crying, no sounds of discomfort. The friends peeked through the open door. They couldn't believe what they saw. What do you think they saw? Sammy the squirrel, Freddie the frog, and Matthew the meerkat were building in the block area. Charlie the cheetah and Tawny the toucan were sitting at a table with crayons, glue, and paper laid out in front of them. Shelley the sparrow and Megan the mongoose were in the pretend area, making breakfast and sweeping the floor. Finally, Rachel the rabbit was listening to her favorite story at the listening center. Miss Wally the walrus came over to the door with a big smile on her face. Hello, I am Miss Wally. I am so happy that you are joining our class this school year. Come in and meet your friends. Miss Wally showed Hillary and Destiny where to put their backpacks and supplies that they would be needing for the year, and introduced them to the rest of the class. The friends looked at each other. It was not at all what Hillary expected. They knew most of the students in the class already, and there were a couple of new kids she hadn't met yet. She would have someone to play with after all. As the two friends stood in the middle of the classroom, everyone wanted them to join the fun in the various centers. Hillary looked around the colorful, peaceful, and happy room and watched the kids start to play, getting ready to start their day. These kids were her friends, friends she already knew, and friends she didn't know yet, but soon would. This would be a good day after all. She would have so many stories to tell her mama tonight during dinner. It would be a good day indeed. To make a friend, be a friend. You must think. T is for truthful. H is for helpful. I is for include your friends. N is for nice words. K is for kind actions. This book also has many teaching places. Here's your word, and there are synonyms and antonyms. And then there's the vocabulary. It has the words that might be a little bit harder for you, and it tells you what they are and what they mean. C. Delayne Duffy is an American author who resides and teaches special education in Texas. She has taught for 20 years in New Mexico and in Texas. She attended Eastern New Mexico University, where she received her bachelor's in elementary education and a master's in special education. Delayne fell in love with writing when she enrolled in a creative writing class while attending college. She was born and raised in Portales, New Mexico, and now has 2 adult children and 1 daughter-in-law, 1 cat, Binks, and 1 dog, Sophie, who are the inspiration and motivation behind her books. Michelle Durham has always enjoyed drawing and painting. Even as a young child, she would spend hours drawing. After receiving encouragement as a teenager, Michelle went on to study art at South Plains Junior College, then graduated with the Bachelor of Fine Arts from West Texas A&M University. After graduation, Michelle only worked in art for a short time and began painting and drawing for her own enjoyment. She has been teaching early childhood education for many years at a small school in Texas, where she met Miss Duffy. Michelle currently resides in New Mexico with her dog, Sandy.